How's it going, guys? It's your boy Raccoon, and today I'm going to be talking to you guys another story, but this one's going to be way back in the past. And when I mean way back, I'm talking about like elementary school in the past, right? So I was about like 10 years old, and this, actually, before I start the story, let me just say that it doesn't stay like on one day, but this is like a couple years span, so it's not a story. Actually, what am I talking about? It is a story, but it's also an experience, you know? Yeah, I got you. Alright, but okay, so let's start with the story. Okay, so back throughout elementary school, I used to live in this neighborhood, right? It wasn't really a bad neighborhood. It was more like a okay middle class neighborhood. Nothing really bad happened. But there was this one kid down the street, and of course, everyone has that one kid down the street that everyone just hates. Alright, but this guy, oh, I don't even know how to explain it actually. Okay, but let me just start with, his mom was a prostitute, his dad left him, and his brother was a gang member, and he took steroids at the age of, I don't know, like 9, 10. Like, his family was insane, alright? You did not want to fuck with them, because shit was gonna happen. So, I have a bunch of stories about this kid. One, we used to, I was kind of friends with him, not really. We chilled, but I mean, I wouldn't see myself as, like, trusting him, because, like, just because of his background. Let's call him Eric, right? So Eric, he invited all of us to his house, and like, dude, this was like a trap house. Like, holy shit, you go inside, fucking crazy shit happened. I'm about to tell you guys this crazy, like, dude, it was insane, right? So we go down to his basement, and his basement, his brother lived there. So like, we were home alone, right? His family was out somewhere, right? So we go down to the basement where his brother lived. Dude, there was a table filled to the brim with cocaine, weed, any drug you can think of. It was on that table, and there was just stacks and stacks of just porn DVDs and a really old CRT TV. What did I just say? A really old CRT TV. That's what I meant to say, right? So that we had one of those, and I remember this was probably the first time I actually watched porn, right? He would take out one of the cassette tapes. Okay, this is the first time I actually ever saw someone with a cassette tape for porn, right? It was pretty weird, but you know what? Whatever. It was whatever. So he takes one out. We play it, and it was about, I would say there was about 3-4 guys and 2 chicks, and that was it. We just sat there and like in silence watching it like it was an action movie, right? We didn't know what to do, right? So we just sat there, watched about like 45 minutes of this, and left. That was it. But dude, that was the first time I went into his house. Second time was his brother had a friend and the friend's girlfriend over, right? They were fucking in the dude's bed, right? And my Eric told me about this, and he told me, and since it was the basement, you know how there's like those small windows on the side of the basements that you can look through? That's exactly what we did. Eric, he came up to me, he's like, yo, there's people fucking in the basement, come check this out, right? So we go, we were looking through the window about like a good 2-3 minutes before they actually caught us. Dude, when they caught us, the brother came out the front door with a carton of eggs, and he started running down the street chasing us, throwing eggs at us. It was pretty funny. I mean, because we were just a bunch of kids, right? Like, he wouldn't really do anything. Like, I mean, if we were teens, I'm sure he would fuck us up real bad, but still. We were just kids, so that was it. But, I also had bad experiences with this kid as well. So he came over to my house, and I kept my money in like this drawer beside my bed, right? And as a kid, $100, like, dude, you own the world, like that was yours, right? So he came over to my house, and we chilled in my room. I didn't really think of it much at first, but then when I realized my $100 was gone, I knew exactly where I went. So I got a bunch of friends of mine at the time, and we just went down to his house, rang the doorbell. His mom answered, and we told his mom exactly what happened. Dude, she took him outside in front of us, and she just asked him, like, oh, is it true that you took his money? He said no. And then she's like, oh, my son's a good boy, you know, he wouldn't do that. And they just left. That was it. That was the gayest fucking thing I have ever experienced. Like, dude, he stole $100 from me, and he just gets away with it clean, right? Like, there was absolutely nothing I could have done there except tell my parents or some shit. But even I did tell them that, right? But they did the exact same thing. They went and complained to him, asking for the money back, but nothing happened, right? And I was like, you don't really want to call the cops on this because, I mean, it's not really worth it for that much. But still. Okay, so there's a lot more I have to tell. Like, this one time, So I mentioned before how the mom was a prostitute, right? She would sometimes bring the clients home. Like it was actually really weird. Like they wouldn't. The one time, the weirdest time. Oh my god, you guys are in for a show, dude. She took her client into the backyard, and they were fucking right in front of the backyard for the whole neighborhood to see. And they were going off. Like they were really loud. And like the whole neighborhood was fine. Like I said earlier, there was nothing bad about it. It was just a middle class place, right? Like all good, but there was just this one house. Like they were the house. Like cops were at it like almost every week because his brother was like had a arrest warrant, like 7 of them for him, right? So it's pretty insane. But like, okay, so how does this story end, you ask? Well, I'll just say that they ended up fleeing the house. Like they were just on the run. Like one day they're there, this next day they're not. But it was pretty sick because they just ran away. I guess they were like wanted for the police or some shit. So they dipped. But they left the door open, right? So like me and my friends, we got in there and we got a free PS3, right? A bunch of shoes. There were extra like there was a couple of like loose bills around the house that we ended up taking. And it was, I mean, I know this is stealing, right? But like they left it behind and they ran away, right? So like this was, I guess, finders keepers, right? So there's a bunch of cool shit that I left behind the house, but after that we just took like a couple of video games and money, right? Not too much. But the rest of the house ended up being like fully like, I don't even know how to explain it, like demolished and then rebuilt from the ground up because just how big of a shithole it was, right? But so yeah, I don't know. So the house has been rebuilt and stuff, but I still have not seen the dude to this day again. And honestly, I'm glad I didn't, because that dude, I didn't get along with him till at the very end. Because like after he stole my money, that was probably pretty much the last time I talked to him. After that, it was just like, I don't know, just another kid on the street. So anyways, that's pretty much it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed, and if you did, be sure to subscribe, like, leave a comment about what you guys thought, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!